Okay, here's another thing I found under the bench, and I think this is, yeah, cable identification set. I think it's like a little transmitter and receiver thing. Cable identification set type F, and it costs $7. Used to identify cable pairs without need to puncture the conductor insulation. Two main items: oscillator, sander, and a search probe. Receiver oscillator uses one Eveready 712 3-volt battery. Oh, not one of those weird things. And the probe uses one Eveready type 216 9-volt battery. Fitting of batteries must be carried out at line depots only. Oscillator, so it must be a Next Telecom, I would assume, if it's line depots. The oscillator sends a tone of 870 Hz, bit random, to line, which provides a signal on a pair for the probe to detect. The unit includes a flexible lead with clips on one end to connect to the line. The other end terminates in a 4-way plug. The oscillator is switched on, and when the plug is pushed in, the lead must be unplugged when the oscillator is not in use to save battery. Oh yeah, when the plug is pushed in, so that'd be the plug on the lead, test lead or connection lead. Unit should only be used on the A and B legs of non-working or idle working pairs with no connection to earth. Identification of pair is achieved when the probe tip is closest to the pair, which gives the loudest tone. Always replace probe in the case with a switch button in the cutout of the case separator. Any unit that fails to operate in the field must be returned to the line depot for further inspection. Except in exceptional circumstances, batteries must be carried out at line depots only. For detailed information, refer to the EI Lines cable TE4305. Is that some sort of earphone thing? Well, that's the Telecom colour, orange. So I'd say you put that on your ear so you're not making a noise everywhere. Boy, it probably hasn't got a speaker in it. Oh, that's an old school telephone exchange type plug, isn't it? So that must go, which bit is, well, that's the probe obviously, because it looks like a probe. Oh yeah, that goes in there, and you hook it to your pair of wires. Why on earth do you have to do that at a line depot? Anyone could change that anywhere. So what voltage are they? It doesn't actually say what they are, does it? I have to look up what it's a 3-volt, that's right. So a couple of, what if you'd fit a couple of AAs or something? Are they too long? Always a way, no doubt. That's got a screw in with a bit of something around them. Oh god, they actually are close to the right length. Ooh, that bit of metal touched the other bit though. Don't think it does. Damn, just a little bit too long. What about a AAA? Are they much shorter than that? I can't even remember. Not really, I don't think. But getting it to actually touch the correct point, that will be the problem. But if I can at least find out if the length is about right, probably going to short them out. Ooh. How do I get it? I guess I'm going to have to wrap a tape or something. Yeah, something like that would do it. Just a random bit of scourer pad lying around. With some sort of rubbish all over it. But anyway. I hope it doesn't get stuck in there, but that's probably pretty close. I probably should have taped the other one to that one. Oh god, this Bunnings tape isn't much good. Should have bought some Nitto. Always buy Nitto insulation tape, because as well as lasting well, and you can actually unwrap it again after 10 years, it's much easier to tear than some of them. Well, hopefully that's connected, but I don't know for sure. Oh, is that going to hit those? got to get on the spring. As long as that's... I don't think it is screwing on though. Ah, damn it. Feels like it's hitting the metal. That might be enough. Probably doesn't help there's a heap of scarab pad in the way. Oh well. I guess I can try that. If we can get a 9-volt battery into this thing, assuming someone hasn't left one in there. Does the end open? No, it's this end open. What does it say here? Probe type F MFY83. So there's your headphone socket. Well, maybe that's why you don't change the battery in the field, because you've got to unscrew it. Which, yeah, I wouldn't recommend, but you've got a nice little case here to drop the screws in, so you shouldn't lose them. Well, even though I just did, since it's stuck to the screwdriver. Ooh, still got one in there. A Vinic. Any use by dates? 9 volts battery for transistor, so I'd say that's pretty old if it's still mentioned transistor radios. Hasn't leaked. A lot of these old batteries just don't seem to leak, or they just dry out graciously. I guess we should check it. I doubt there's any voltage on it, but occasionally you find one that's still actually got some life in it. Yeah, it's as flat as. No, I'll have to keep that. I don't even remember that brand, though it does look kind of familiar. Hopefully that one's a bit more lively. So really most of that case is just a battery holder. So that presses R onto that. And how on earth do they connect the headphone socket? Through a sliding bit of circuit board. Must touch that screw or something. Is that how it's done? And the rest through the case, I guess. Yeah, it would make sense. So that's the wrong way around, so it goes the other way. So that touches, I think it's a bit of circuit board here mounted, well, riveted on down the side here, which goes to the headphone socket. Of course the chassis will be the other part. Oh, so that switch is what presses onto that screw, I think. I just had them the wrong way around. Oh, I don't even really need to close that door, because I'm only going to open it up again. Oh, better put our earpiece in, I guess. I assume it does nothing. You wouldn't know if it's going or not. See if I can get this thing to do something. Nope. Guess we can check that for resistance, because that's the sort of thing that's going to get broken. Geez, 16k seems a bit rich. Ooh, now we've got mega ohms. I think we've got a dodgy earpiece. Certainly seems like it. So broken at the plug end. I just saw ohms flash up for a second. Picky at both ends, I think. Great. Yeah, that end's alright, I think. I think it's at the earpiece end. Which kind of makes sense. So this note just comes out. What if that's just the same as like a normal set of headphones or something? It's kind of rotating, I don't know if it should. Oh, what's going on here? Something's coming apart. Oh! Huh! Unplugs in here. In fact, that's measuring, that's good. 1 ohm. There had to be something wrong with it, of course. Ooh, yeah, that ain't good. Although, is that doing that when I'm not? Well, it was 1 ohm. Or is it this other end? Yeah, house is good as, so I was just not connecting to the other end, I think. These things, they all like to play silly games with it. It's just random. Maybe it's broken at that end then. It's fine. No idea, it's suddenly behaving fairly good. Weird. It's pretty random, unless that clip lead's dicky as well. That seems pretty solid now. Yes, no. Well, I'm none the wiser. Maybe it's a bad connection there. Now we're talking. Maybe it was just dirt in that connection or something. Very weird. Now I've got about a K, which is quite acceptable, I think. Very odd and unpredictable. It's where you get a click to start with, and that's it. Yeah, I think it does just make a click. I wonder if I've actually got those batteries around the right way. I would assume so, but I'm making assumptions which I shouldn't do. I think we need to pull that a bit to bits as well. Oops, my stuff stayed in there. I knew it would eventually. Bit of a time waster this one, but might as well have a look at the thing. Well, that must come to switch off and remove plug. Doesn't unscrew or anything, does it? Oh, it's drowning a bit, was it? Yeah, I can feel it turn. Maybe it does unscrew. Oh, I'm just moving it around in there when I shouldn't. Oh, don't know. As long as it's coming. Bloody hell, it's tight. that's as far as it goes, I think. Well, it goes back in. So definitely not screwed or threaded. I hope this tube isn't too brittle. Probably going to mark it a bit. I hope this is made out of something solid, because I'm putting a lot of force into this. Maybe I should have put a bit of lubricant down there. Is that an antenna type thing there? Like a coil? Oh, that battery thing's really tight. Out you come. Yeah, it doesn't get me anywhere really. Because whatever it is up inside this. Looks like it is a coil of wire on there. And it's all glued together. But I guess I can possibly be sure I've got 3 volts then. When you assume that battery would have to have positive there, wouldn't it? Here I put a power supply in there. Since it's current limited, we want 3 volts, which we're pretty much on anyway. Where's the current limit? Let's go back to say half an amp. Even that's probably too much, I guess. Well, oh, it's not going to switch on without that anyway, is it? Not seeing any sign of current draw. Guess I should look one of those batteries up really, but ooh, got current draw when I shorted it out. Not picking up any signal. So it's possible this switch is dicky. Oh, there's some other issue, or I've got the battery the wrong way around. What was it called? A 712. Well, I can't find any information on a 712 battery. The only thing I could risk is hooking it up the other way, but not sure I really should. Well, let's just try it anyway. I don't think I'm doing the right thing, but I think this thing's faulty anyway. No, nothing. Assuming this thing even works. So, I don't know what you can do. Does it unscrew? Oh, it does. Could it be that this isn't turning it on? Looks like it's got a link across those 2 pins, and the other 2 hook up to your things, so that would be the bit that turns it on. I wonder which pins was it? Oh, we don't know, do we? Don't think it's going to help to find out really. I wonder if that unscrews. It looks like it might, but don't think it does. Probably going to need a much bigger screwdriver. No, it doesn't feel like it's going to budge. So I have no idea which part's faulty, so if I go and pull this all to bits and break it or something, it'll probably turn out it was alright anyway. Well, can we... I mean, what sort of signals are going to be putting out, I wonder? Just wonder if I can sense anything on the oscilloscope. That's another way of doing it. I guess if we hook that to ground as well, except the oscilloscope doesn't seem to be doing anything, of course. Oh, yeah, no, there's a signal there, I think. Oh, massive amount of signal. So it isn't this that's playing up. It's definitely positive in the middle there. At least I didn't blow it up working up the wrong way, but there is a ton of something on the oscilloscope. It's definitely some sort of sine wave or something. Let's spread that out a bit more. Oh, it's more like a square wave actually. And we have about 2 volts peak to peak. Not sure what frequency, but so this is working. That's why you don't go messing with things until you know which bit's faulty, because you're guaranteed to pull the wrong one to bits every time. Oh, come on. So the transmitter works, but the receiver does not receive it. It'd be nice if I could somehow patch that up so it runs all the time. Built much like an old torch. Yeah, it's still possible something's up with this headphone or something. Let's see if it's decided to go back to its ways of acting like it's faulty. Maybe it's not meant to be 1K, but still measuring about 900 ohms. Did seem to make a click sound when I press on that. Should I hook that into like the input of an amp or something? Let's hook it into the auxiliary of the amp, see if we get anything. Yeah, that's what I was hearing, just like a clicking sound. That shouldn't be doing that, I don't think. It's just a dicky switch socket probably. That switch probably isn't the best. Okay, let's see how am I going to do this. With great difficulty, no doubt. Another job for 3 hands. Oscilloscope pattern's going a bit weirder, but I haven't got the ground on, that's why. That would make sense. No wonder it's looking a bit weird. So that's putting out a signal. And that's as deaf as a post, it seems. I assume it should just pick it straight up off anything here. Would have to, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd be nice if I can actually keep the thing on, which is near impossible. So I don't think it's the headphone. But that thing seems to be deaf. Oh, let's pull it out of its little case. Everything looked to be connected. Oh yeah, so that's the switch that switches the battery to what? The case? Yeah, it connects it to the case. Also connects the headphone up, which came out of that terminal, I think. So we just need to short that to the case. In theory, and this thing should be powered up permanently. Had to make it difficult, didn't they? Oh, and then we need to hook that to... Oh! That's got no earth, but why is that working now? Not sure that's meant to be doing that. Hook that to the case as well. And it's just a hum. Oh, but that thing's not running, is it, of course? It's catch-22 here. You need 50 click leads. That one's bent to override everything here. Ooh, not happy. Oh, God, something has to fall off. Ooh. Oh, so it does work. I think we've got a faulty. Let's see if we can clip that onto the headphone itself. We've got a faulty headphone socket, maybe. Sometimes this is the sort of thing you've got to do. It's usually. That's screaming at me even without a signal, which is weird. Oh, so it's picking stuff up. Yeah, I've got my hand on there. I guess it doesn't have a volume control, does it? It's mostly screaming at me until you get the actual signal there. Not sure what it's picking up, but it's picking something up. Oops. Probably a switch mode power supply or something. Ah, you son of a... God, everything has to catch on everything. Is it the camera? That's the camera, I think. Bloody digital noise pouring out of that. That's the oscilloscope screen. That's the mains. So it does pick up a lot of rubbish by the look of it. Or maybe because it's not shielded fully. Oh well, so it does basically work, but either the switch doesn't operate, but it sounded like it was. It probably wouldn't hurt to clean, or at least scrape it a bit or something. Got a bit of black stuff on there. And what do we got? Oh yeah, that prong could be bent, I guess. Let's bend it up a bit. Give it a quick scrape. And I guess if we plug, well, I guess we'll just do a continuity test. I guess from the headphone barrel to wherever, and from, can we touch, I need to put that in there, don't I? See if that's at least coming down to the little bit of circuit board, which it is. Oh, I wonder one thing, I guess I should really put a screw in there, because maybe, just maybe, these two bits of aluminium aren't connecting well without a screw to bite them down hard. Oh, get in there. I can't even get the screw in it. I hope that's the right screw, because I've got two things apart here, haven't I? Oh, God, what is with you? Well, that's one of the three that look the same. That's it, finally it's bit. I didn't expect that thing to be so loud you could hear it from a distance like that. So, let's fire, if I can find my lead, which just loves going on the floor for some reason. Fire this thing up. Yeah, not squealing now. So it's probably just the fact I had the shielding off the case probably didn't help. What the hell just fell on the floor then? It's cutting in and out. Yeah, something on that switch is dicky or something. God, that switch is just horrible. I can't imagine having to hold that down for a while. It's horrible. Really high resistance. I think they'd make it a bit more ergonomic so you don't have to press hard. It's a massive metal spring in there. Chances are you wouldn't be doing it for too long, I guess, but yeah, not a nice tool to use. It's picking up its own headphone socket, or headphone lead. So it does work. Well, now it does. So there you go. Got no idea where I would ever use one of those these days, but in the past they would have been very handy. I say, even for chasing cables around television distribution systems or something. Actually, I better take the battery back out, because I bet this one won't last like that other one did. And one day I'll really regret leaving that in there if I ever touch it again. But yeah, interesting little tool. And maybe it was just a bad contact or something. But yeah, that spring is like a massive high tensile bit of steel in there, which is ridiculously strong for what it is. Absolutely ridiculous. It takes a lot of finger pressure to hold that thing down. But at least it would probably last forever. You could drive your ute over that thing and I don't think you'd break the switch. Maybe the plastic bit, but definitely not the sprung bit. I'll put all that back together. But yeah, couldn't even find any listing, and I looked in a few old Dick Smith catalogues and stuff, could not see an Eveready 712 battery, so I do remember them making a round 3-volt battery. Can't for the life of me think what they were used in, but I do remember them. Yeah, that'll take some racking of brain cells, I think, to try and remember what they were used in. There was something that definitely used like a sort of, would be the same diameter as that. What on earth used the 3-volt battery? Yeah, it's almost getting to a C-cell kind of size, but longer. It'll be like 2 cells together, obviously, if it's 3-volt instead of 1.5 like most of them are. I'm sure I remember those batteries being in some piece of equipment, but what, I can't remember. Just trying to think, it wouldn't be something specialist like a pager or something, which I worked on some pagers and stuff that used some weird sort of in-house paging systems. They used, I think, a 3-volt, but it was a lot smaller than that. It was an N, was it an N cell or something? I think it was an N cell. Something with mercury, little mercury batteries, which of course have all been banned now, but I think it was an N size. I'm sure I remember something with 3-volt batteries, but what the hell it was, I'll probably never remember now. Ooh, that is a tight fit. Okay, 17.3. That doesn't tell you much, does it? 17 is obviously a date, and I guess 3 would be the month, because unless that means something completely different. It doesn't tell me a year, unfortunately, but I'd say this thing's fairly old. Possibly 70 or something. But that's the second one of these cable tracer things I've got. Both of them look to be ex-Telecom, which is, you know, the main people that would have used them. Not many other people around here would have used something like that. MYFs. 75, could that be manufactured 75? Who knows? Which way did they say to face the switch? Because I better do it, I guess. Probably like that, I reckon. And that. And headphone bit. Oh, I've got to put that back in its little telecom coloured housing there. And that's that one. Thanks for watching.